I'm not showing you my wife or any grandchildren. I don't want anything to do with you. Just leave the money and go, he said coldly. His words felt like a knife cutting through me. I didn't understand what he was saying, and I stared at his face. There was no warmth in his eyes anymore, just coldness. For 19 years, after my husband betrayed me, I raised our son alone. I thought he understood the pain and struggles I went through, but in one moment, that hope was gone. Yes, because it's a contract. You'll be the one to pay, I said with a trembling voice. He looked surprised and confused. A contract? What are you talking about? He asked, his voice showing that he didn't understand. His confusion made something deep inside me stir. When my husband left me, I had to face life alone. I made a decision that day, a plan to protect my son from his father's bad influence. Now, that plan was finally about to happen. My name is Susan, and I have one son, Sam, who is my ex-husband Ken's biological son. When Sam was 1, I officially adopted him. I did this because without adoption, we wouldn't be legally recognized as parent and child. I wanted to make sure our bond was official. Are you sure about this? Ken asked, concerned. I'm sure. I want to be Sam's mother and take care of him, I said. Ken seemed surprised, but smiled and thanked me. We started our new life together. We weren't rich, but we were happy and peaceful. I still remember the first time Sam called me mom. It felt like time stopped. Sam was usually quiet, so I thought it would take a long time for him to accept me. One evening, while I was making dinner, Sam came over and pulled up my apron. What's wrong, Sam? I asked. He looked like he wanted to say something but was unsure. I waited for him to speak. Finally, he said, Mom. At first, I didn't believe it. I thought I had misunderstood, but when I looked into his eyes, I knew he meant it. What did you just say? I asked. He shyly repeated, Mom. Tears filled my eyes. I hugged him tightly, feeling all my worries disappear, but that happiness didn't last. When Sam turned 1, Ken started changing. He came home late and seemed uneasy when he was around. One evening, as we sat at the dinner table, I decided to ask him about it. Ken, you've been coming home late a lot. Is something wrong? I asked, trying to stay calm. Ken looked at me briefly, then turned away. Work's been busy, don't worry about it, he replied. But you never used to be this late. Is there something you're not telling me? I asked. Nothing's going on, he said, his voice getting louder. My instincts told me something was wrong. Are you sure? You come home late every night, and you're always on your phone. We need to talk about this, I said. Just drop it. Nothing's going on, he snapped. It doesn't feel that way to me. Is there someone else? Are you seeing someone? I asked, my voice shaking. Ken glared at me angrily. You're such a pain, he said. There's someone else. Ken's words left me speechless. What do you mean? I asked, shocked. I'm in love with someone else. I can't resist, he said. What about Sam? What about our family? I asked, feeling desperate. Sam will be fine with you. I want to be with her, he replied coldly. Are you serious? I asked, tears filling my eyes. I'm serious. I've made up my mind, he said, handing me a divorce agreement that he had already filled out. I stared at the paper, feeling numb. The next day, I filed for divorce. From then on, my life was all about Sam. I was determined to protect him from the pain Ken had caused. Even though we weren't rich, I didn't want Sam to suffer financially. I started studying real estate at night, hoping to build a better future for him. Eventually, I managed a small property. It wasn't much, but it helped us have some financial stability. Mom, you're amazing, Sam said one day. Those words were all I needed to keep going. I wanted to be the kind of mom Sam could be proud of, but when Sam became a teenager, he started changing. He became rebellious and his attitude worsened. He started getting into trouble at school, and I was called in multiple times. What's going on, Sam? Why are you acting like this? I asked. He just answered coldly, whatever, leave me alone. One day, after another incident at school, I picked him up and tried talking to him. He stayed silent, staring straight ahead. When we got home, I couldn't ignore it anymore. Sam, talk to me. What's going on? We're family, and we need to figure this out together. Family? We're not even related by blood. What do you know about family? He yelled. His words hurt me deeply. Sam, I know we're not blood related, but you're my son. I raised you, and you mean everything to me. Me? Shut up, hypocrite. Everything you say is a lie, he shouted, storming off to his room and slamming the door. After that, he wouldn't come out for days. I began questioning myself. Had Ken's leaving affected Sam more than I realized? Or was it my fault? Had I failed to show him enough love? No matter how much I wondered, I couldn't find the answer. Sam's behavior got worse. He started staying out late, and I lost track of how many times I had to pick him up from the police station. Each time, I kept telling myself things would get better, but deep inside, I was scared. It felt like I was losing him, but no matter how hard things got, I couldn't give up on him. He was my son, and I had to believe that one day, he would come back to me. By the time Sam graduated high school, his grades were barely passing. He wasn't interested in college or work. He spent his days playing video games and hanging out with friends. Have you thought about what you're going to do after graduation? I asked. I'll go to college, he replied, without much emotion. Really? Where are you going to study? I asked Sam, frustrated. I don't know, I just don't want to work, he replied nonchalantly. His attitude made me angry. You can't just go to college to avoid working. You need a plan. Whatever, you'll pay for it anyway. Isn't that your job? Sam said, not taking me seriously. I couldn't believe what I was hearing. No, I'm not paying for everything. You need to take responsibility for your own life. Sam scoffed. Fine, I'll get a scholarship or something. It was no use. He wasn't listening. A few weeks later, he packed his things and told me he was moving out. So, you're really leaving? I asked. Yeah, I'm done with this place. It's better for both of us, he said, walking out without looking back, slamming the door behind him. I stood there, feeling lost, wondering where I went wrong. Years passed, and I hardly heard from him. Then one day, Sam called me out of the blue. Sam, what's going on? You never call, I said, thinking he needed money. I got married, he said. When did this happen? What about college? Who is she? I asked. I dropped out. Her name's Emily, and she's pregnant, but don't worry, you won't be involved. Not involved? I'm still your mother, I said. Not anymore, I don't need you, just leave the money, and we're done, he replied coldly. His words shocked me. If you want to cut ties, we can file the paperwork, I said. He seemed confused. Paperwork? What do you mean? I'll file the legal papers to end our relationship. You won't be my son anymore, legally or otherwise. Sam paused. Wait, what does that mean? It means that your father's debt will now be yours to pay off. You're responsible for it now, I explained. What? How is that my responsibility? Sam asked. Your father made you his co-signer when you turned 18. You've been responsible for his debt since then. I've been paying for it, but not anymore. Now that we're not family, I won't anymore. Wait, you can't do this. I didn't know. Please help me, Sam begged, his voice trembling. This is your life now, Sam. You made these choices, I said, feeling a mix of sadness and relief as I hung up the phone. I was finally free. That night, I sat alone in my quiet home, crying for the son I had lost. In the next few months, Sam tried to fight the legal papers. He even tried to claim a right to my estate, but the court rejected his case. His reckless choices had caught up with him. At the court, he yelled at me, "You abandoned me. I deserve something for everything I've been through." The judge rejected his claims and reminded him of the consequences of his actions. Sam's pleas fell on deaf ears as he stood there defeated. He had lost everything. I watched him, feeling a strange mix of pity and resignation. Sam's life had spiraled out of control, and now he was alone. After losing the court case, Sam had only his wife, Emily, left, but even that didn't last long. When Emily found out about the debt Sam had inherited from his father, she was furious. "Why didn't you tell me about this huge debt?" she shouted, her voice filled with anger. "I didn't know about it either. It's not my fault," Sam tried to explain. "Do you really think that excuse works? How do you plan to pay it off? What about our future?" she demanded. Sam desperately tried to calm her down. "Wait, we can figure this out together. We're married." "Married? I can't stay in this mess. Our relationship is over," she said. "What do you mean? Are you leaving me?" Sam asked, shocked. "Yes, I want a divorce. I want nothing to do with this mess." "Please don't go. Don't leave me alone," Sam begged. "What do you expect me to do? I can't live like this," she said. She gave him one last cold look before turning to me and saying, "Thank you for everything." A few days later, Emily filed for divorce, but things didn't get any better for Sam. It turned out that Emily had been having an affair with another man while still married to Sam. She had divorced her ex-husband, Chris, when she found out she was pregnant with Sam's child, and then quickly married Sam. Sam had no idea about the affair until now. "Who is this guy?" Sam asked, feeling shocked. "I'm her husband," Emily's ex-husband said, filled with rage. "Husband? What do you mean?" Sam asked, confused. "I was married to her until recently," the ex-husband shouted angrily. "So, you left me for him? You betrayed me." The ex-husband's anger exploded, and he began throwing accusations at both Emily and Sam. Sam, feeling trapped, couldn't handle the situation, but Emily wasn't finished yet. She planned to use the alimony from Sam to pay off the damages her ex-husband was suing her for. This left Sam with both alimony to pay and the huge debts from his father, making him feel completely cornered. Overwhelmed by his financial burdens, Sam thought, "This isn't fair, how did it all go so wrong?" His once confident attitude crumbled as he realized how alone he was. Between his father's debt, Emily's betrayal, alimony, child support, and student loans, everything was weighing on him. He cried out, "Somebody, please help me, what do I do?" But there was no one left to help him. He had pushed everyone away with his arrogance. His voice echoed, but no one answered. His strength and confidence were gone, and only despair remained. Watching him spiral, I couldn't help but think about the choices he had made. He had chosen this path, and now he had to face the consequences. "Sam, you have to take responsibility for the life you've chosen," I thought to myself. All I could do was pray that his journey wouldn't be too long and lonely. After losing everything, Sam came to me again, begging for help. This time, his face showed no arrogance, only desperation. "Mom, please help me, I'm begging you," he pleaded, his voice shaking. I listened to him, but I knew I had to stay firm. "Sam, we've already cut ties. You're the one who made these decisions. Now, you have to live with them." His face twisted in pain. "I know, but please, just one more time, I swear I'll never ask again." "It's always the same, Sam," I said, feeling hurt. "You only come to me when you need something. I've given you so much, and now you finally understand, but it's too late." Sam lowered his head in silence, the weight of my words sinking in. "I know, I have no one left to turn to," he said quietly. "You have to take responsibility for your own life now. I can't help you anymore," I said firmly. Sam slowly walked out of the room, his shoulders slumped under the weight of his mistakes. His once confident posture was gone, replaced by the heavy burden of everything he had done wrong. Over time, Sam became more isolated. He was drowning in debt, alimony, and child support, and he had no one left to rely on. The reality of his actions finally sank in. By the time he realized his mistakes, it was too late to fix anything. His cruel words and actions toward me had come back to haunt him. Meanwhile, I continued to succeed in my real estate investments. My life grew more prosperous and stable, and I earned the respect of those around me. The contrast between my life and what Sam had lost couldn't have been more clear. "Sam, this is the result of the path you chose," I thought. "There's nothing I can do for you now." As I moved forward, I knew I couldn't look back. Even if Sam whispered, I was wrong. I knew those words wouldn't reach me now. My life was rich and fulfilling. Even without Sam, I had completely severed our relationship, and I had no need to look back. When he came to me for help, I calmly refused, knowing deep in my heart that it was the right decision. Sam had lost everything, but I had moved on and was thriving. That was the final outcome of my journey, and I felt no regret.